I'm Chad.
I'm Dad. No, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be Dad first.
Oh yeah, you're Dad.
I'm Dad.
I'm Chad. And this is our channel.
Okay, so what we did was we just followed the instructions and these pieces. So we just followed the instructions and we butted these up flush to the top and flush here on the inside. And then we transfer drill number 40 into these tubes and you use the center line. Your rivets need to go down the center line. And then once you get those all the way around, then you'll transfer drill number 30, enlarge number 30. Take all that apart and then lay this sheet on, and you want it to be flush at the bottom and the bottom here. It said to clamp it, but what we did is we got it where we wanted it, and then we drilled our first hole. It says to peel this back just enough. We transferred drill number 30 through here, and then we just worked our way down. And I put a clamp just to get it close, but I made sure that it was flush all the way down. And then I worked it to here, and then I worked my way up here. And then I went to the forward side. This is the co-pilot door. And then we worked our way from one end to the other, making sure we didn't have any bows in it. Okay, so then it tells you to mark where you're going to cut. So there's a little mark here where we're cutting that off, and then there's a mark here where we're cutting that, and then they want a mark on the top and the bottom of this frame, because what you're going to do is find the center line of that and actually cut it down that center line. That way the bottom Lexan and the top Lexan come together, and then there's a piece that go over to hold them. So that's where we're at thus far. And we will do a little bit more video when we get further.
Oh, it went one on the other side.
How did that would never happen again? I was like, damn, I'm strong.
I figured, I thought that's the first thing I thought of that.
Wow. I was just thinking, man, it takes that long to go through it, and it just went through the other side like that. Okay, what we did, this is the top Lexan, and what we did is we got it level with the very top. This is where the pins go in, and then we made sure once we wrapped it over, there was going to be enough room, because this will have to be trimmed.
That's where you want that? Yeah.
So
Just have to do is go down. Just gonna,
yeah, right there.
see how it does here.
Wow.
But if you go down, what we were doing. You
Well, I
did
could
that.
trim it.
Well, what I'm saying is that you went down, this bows. See, it bows where it fits on there. I mean, go ahead and start your drilling there.
Well, how do we know?
The same thing you did on that other piece. It didn't fit just right. And as you went down,
Yeah, but you're going to have to keep it bowed. Like a, you see right now, I mean, we can always trim this. We could just make sure this fits like that, go down, and then I can trim the top of this.
all right then.
See, because it doesn't, if you do what the instructions say, like and you put it straight, it doesn't, it's not straight.
Well, once you bow it, well, then what you need to do is this right here. Is let me,
Yeah, I don't want to do that, because then what if there's a wrinkle in here?
we'll just have to keep going and we'll have to keep it bowed like this.
this is the edge. This piece should be straight.
Okay, we'll line it up.
Widen this straight.
Line it up the way you had it going up. All right, you got it lined up?
Yeah. Okay, here's what I want you to do. No, I don't want it clamped. I want you to put your finger like this on the other side, because I'm gonna have to be right here. And then keep that like that.
You want me to keep my finger in there, or just keep it bowed like that?
Okay. Hold it like that. So it's like when it's like that, it's
Yeah, it draws it in. Yeah, this is the only way it's gonna keep it straight.
where you want it.
Well, yeah, I'm not, you want to push down, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gotta be flat.
See, now once you get it all clicko, then we can draw our lines on it.
Yep. So now we have to pull the plastic back, and no, now we draw a line on the inside. That's what we do.
So you found the pin?
Yeah, I got one right over here.
You want to draw the outside of those.
This was what I was saying earlier. If you cleco it down first, then you can.
Inside and outside there.
Man, that worked better than that green one we were using.
Yeah. See a little bit better.
So then on this guy, you will measure off 1/4 of an inch and make another mark, and that's where you'll cut. So both the top and the bottom can come together. This piece and this piece will meet in the middle of this, and then there's a piece that goes over it. So So we'll cut that off, that off. Not really a whole lot.
Well, just keep measuring, but
I was gonna go just a 1/4 inch off that other line. Okay, so we'll cut that and then we'll come back. Need some more of those. I wonder if Home Depot has those.
they've got them at Harbor Freight.
Harbor Freight. Okay, guys, here's that center tube, and this is why you mark both sides of it. You're supposed to go down the middle. Well, that tube is 1/2 inch, so I just marked a 1/4 inch, and then I just came by and just made little marks ever so often. And this curves, so you're gonna need probably, I don't know, every 5 inches I put a mark, sometimes closer, sometimes a little further. And then I'll take a ruler, straight edge here.
Drawing a straight line in a curved world.
Yeah. That's why you have to draw a bunch of them. All right, guys, so what we did is we finally got this to match up. We cut it, it says cut it on the inside of the line, just short of the line, but I cut it down the line, and they ended up, the top and the bottom ended up hitting each other. So we took it apart several times and finally got it. I'd rather cut it too big than cut it too long than too short. So you can see it's not perfect, but if anybody can get it perfect, kudos to them. So then you'll put your forward and aft trim pieces on. So the forward and the aft trim pieces, don't have to put the bottom. And what that's for is so you can put this center, this is the piece that holds the two halves together. And per the instructions, they want you to trim that to match here, and then follow the bow. Two people follow the bow, so push it down, get it on this side, and then that'll tell you where you need to cut it over here. And they want it cut right on the line of the aft piece. This is the aft. That's the forward piece. So then they want you to take this guy and find the center line and then mark an inch away. And once you mark an inch, then go every 3 inches and make a mark. And we're going to drill those to number 40, and then we're going to put it down onto here. and then we're going to transfer drill through the number 40s in Clico and then go back to a number 30. The instructions just say transfer number 30, but I want to do a number 40. Just makes me feel better to do it. Okay, so the instructions show this is a door frame right here. This is the channel extrusion that bites down on the upper and lower Lexan window pieces, and it shows right here to trim that flush. Well, what happens is this piece right here, this Lexan piece, ends up coming into this a little bit, so we had to notch it, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I lined that Lexan up just like it said with the edge of the door frame. So what happens is, see, it matches here and here just like it's supposed to. This center piece ends up, if you just cut it straight, it interferes right here, and you want a flat fit against that Lexan. So you're going to have to cut not only here, because the piece comes out to about right here, so you're going to have to chop it here and then get your mark. We stopped about right here, either right here or right here with the drilling and the Clicos, and then we made our measurement, took it all back apart, and then went and made our cut. And that's what the final looks like. Now this is all drilled to a number 40, so we're about to drill it to a number 30. Deburr everything and rivet it together. For you it'll be instantaneous, for us it'll take a minute. So here's where we're at. We've got everything deburred, Clicoed, ready to rivet. There is 2 bushings that you have to drill out, and I think that's a 3/8, and this one is a 13/64. I just looked for a size. I didn't tell you in the instructions. I just looked for a size that fit in there just right. Drill those out, took it back apart, deburred it, got everything together. We trimmed the Lexan back just enough because you don't want to take this stuff off until you're ready, till you're done, because this stuff scratches really easily. Don't wipe it if it's got anything on it. Don't wipe it unless you use soap and water. Try to blow off the dust because it just acts as sandpaper. So we're going to end up painting all of this, so I'm not worried about scratching that. So all this perimeter will be painted, and I want to leave this bottom unpainted. I think it's neat when you can look out and see towards your feet, kind of like a helicopter. So I think we're going to leave this bottom unpainted. We may paint this part back here because you're going to be sitting here. You won't see that. So anyway, that'll be a later date, but it doesn't say anything about putting the, there is a foam strip that goes here, and Dad's got it in his hand. We're about to put that on. This looks like 3M tape, double-sided tape. Is that what it is? Yep. Okay. So he's going to put that on, then we're going to lay that piece there on, and then we're going to start riveting.
Hey guys, thanks for watching another episode of Dad and Chad.
If you like this video, share it with your friends and give us a thumbs up,
And never miss an episode of Dad and Chad by hitting that subscribe button.
because we'll be back next Tuesday with another episode.
Thanks again for watching
Dad?
and Chad.